The largest gold mine owner in New Zealand has had a mining concession rejected by the Department of Conservation due to a lack of lizard relocation plans. DOC says up to 10,000 lizards could die, while mine owners, Oceania Gold, say the rejection threatens hundreds of jobs, which has drawn the ire of, you guessed it, Resources Minister Shane Jones, who's in Sydney after the Origin game and is with us live this morning. Morena, Shane.
Hey, kia ora, folks.
How was the game?
Electric, like a coliseum, 80-odd thousand fans, largely bearing blue wigs, screaming, and I was one of the odd people there with a red cap, having been a great fan of Mal Meninga in the day.
And are you there on official business?
Yes, I spoke yesterday to the Sydney Mining Club and spoke to the Aussie Stock Exchange and a whole variety of other investors, and off to see the Sydney fish market today of the variety of the mining investors. So you can imagine how I felt when I had the Television New Zealand story reported to me.
Yeah, so this is a story from One News. Oceania Gold saying potentially 1,000 jobs on the line if they stop mining because they don't have a lizard relocation plan. Rubber hits the road October, that's when you've got to get the relocation thing done. And it's 10,000 lizards apparently. Do you know what sort of lizards are involved here, whether they're endangered?
Mate, these lizards would be as common as acne. They're everywhere out throughout Otago. This is a mining company that's existed for 30 or 40 years, shall I say. They know how to mitigate. My problem isn't the lizards, it's the bureaucratic serpents that are undermining jobs and hoping to snuff out mining and economic development.
But why are they, if they've done a relocation plan before, why can't they do one this time?
Well, I've no doubt in my mind that they've put it forward, but if you look at the story, the two things that the wildlife officials are saying is that they weren't happy with the lizard relocation plan, and it's akin to a beauty spot on the landscape down there in Otago. Most importantly, however, they're saying that the tangata whenua consultation wasn't up to standard. Well, the Wildlife Act is older than me, and I'm born in 1959. I suspect that this is just ideology being paraded in some form of a quisling character who's undermining not only the Prime Minister's mission, but our government's mission. And come Cabinet, I'll be ensuring that the relevant ministers join with me and to ensure that there's a common sense outcome.
Have you spoken to the Conservation Minister?
I've been busy trying to raise capital in Australia for the mining sector, and I've no doubt that Tama, who's by now across the issues, and his national colleagues, will be talking to the relevant officials. This goes exactly against why the Prime Minister and Nicola Willis have been pushing jobs, economic growth, getting ourselves out of the doo-doo after the COVID experience.
So why is it taking you guys so long to actually get traction with this stuff?
You ask a very good question. I would say that the traction I've developed through the fast-track legislation and other initiatives is very strong, but these people are trapped in a prehistoric piece of legislation, no longer fit for purpose. No, the characters who make these decisions believe they're like the Reserve Bank. They're not responsible. They're not within the orbit of our gravitational influence as a cabinet-based government. Well, it's cabinet decision-makers who run the country, not unelected quislings embedded in some sort of ideological cluster in regional council or in wildlife departments.
Shane, if it came down to it, if these things are as common as acne, if it came down to it, 1,000 human jobs or 10,000 dead lizards, what would you take?
Well, you know as well as I do, we can move a few lizards, and if a few go by the way as a consequence of mining in an area where there's already been a mine for 40 years, then it's a trade-off. I'm always going to stand up for humans before either bureaucratic serpents or slithering lizards.
Shane Jones, Resources Minister in Sydney, 14 minutes away.